Good morning, dear students. Welcome to Science 1. In chemical reactions and equations, we have already finished with rate of chemical reactions. Now, let us proceed further with the next part of the lesson, that is oxidation and reduction reaction. Now, why we need to study this is because there are in nature there are so many chemical reactions of oxidations which are taking place. So, how they are taking place, let us try to understand today. Okay, so oxidation by definition is nothing but a chemical reaction in which a reactant combines with oxygen or loses hydrogen, okay, to form the product is called as oxidation reaction. Now let us take some few examples here. Okay, so here you know when magnesium ribbon is burnt in air, it forms magnesium oxide. Okay, carbon when it combines with oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide. So in this case, in these two reactions, if you see a reactant combines with oxygen, okay, so it is a type of oxidation reaction according to the definition. Then let us see the next example wherein hydrogen is lost from the reaction. Here take an example of magnesium hydride. When magnesium hydride is heated, okay, you remember this delta symbol, it is used when something is heated, when some chemical reactant is heated. So here magnesium hydride, when it is heated, it loses hydrogen, fine, and forms magnesium. So here also it is a type of oxidation reaction wherein a reactant loses hydrogen. Okay, another example of ethane. Okay, when ethane is heated, it forms ethene. Okay, and one hydrogen molecule is lost in the form of gas. So in all these cases, if you see here in these two cases, if you see hydrogen is lost, so it is also a type of oxidation reaction according to the definition. Now there are certain substances which also helps in the oxidation reaction. So now let us see some of those examples of substances, chemical substances which helps in oxidizing a reactant. Now let us take an example of ethanol. When to ethanol, potassium dichromate is added in presence of sulfuric acid. That means acidified potassium chromate is added to ethanol. Ethanol gets oxidized to acetic acid and water. So here if you see potassium dichromate, when it is acidified, it acts like the oxidizing agent. Why it acts like the oxidizing agent? Because it makes the nascent oxygen available for the reaction. Fine. So this potassium dichromate is also called as the oxidant or the oxidizing agent because it makes the oxygen available for the chemical reaction. So when it makes oxygen available for the chemical reaction, then such substances are called as oxidizing agents or oxidants. So by definition, oxidant means nothing but chemical substances which bring about an oxidation reaction by making oxygen available is called as an oxidant or an oxidizing agent. Now let us see some examples of some other oxidants or oxidizing agent. By now you have understood that potassium dichromate is an oxidizing agent. So there is another oxidizing agent called as KMnO4 or potassium permanganate. So potassium permanganate, when it is acidified, it also acts as the oxidizing agent. Hydrogen peroxide is a mild oxidizing agent, and ozone is also an oxidizing agent. So ozone formula is nothing but O3. So you can see here the reactions. When potassium dichromate is acidified, it forms potassium sulfate potassium sulfate and chromium sulfate, water, and 3 atoms of nascent oxygen. Then when potassium permanganate is used as the oxidizing agent, that means acidified potassium permanganate is used, it is forming potassium sulfate, manganese sulfate, water, and 5 atoms of nascent oxygen. Whereas hydrogen peroxide is a mild oxidant, that is why it gives only one atom of nascent oxygen. And ozone, the formula of ozone is O3, is also another chemical oxidant. So it also makes the oxygen available for oxidation reaction. So now what is this nascent oxygen? Now this nascent oxygen is generated by chemical oxidants. All these oxidants are generating, if you see here, all of them are generating this nascent oxygen. And this nascent oxygen is actually a state prior to the formation of the oxygen molecule. Okay, so before oxygen molecule forms, it is present as nascent oxygen. But since this nascent oxygen is very reactive, it forms oxygen and quickly, since it is very reactive in nature and it is unstable, so it forms the oxygen molecule quickly. So this nascent oxygen, always remember that it is written by writing oxygen inside a square bracket. So this is the symbol of the oxygen. So these chemical oxidants are making this nascent oxygen available for chemical reaction, and so oxidation of that reactant takes place. Fine. So now let us try to answer one question. Okay, so if you have understood that potassium permanganate is used as the oxidizing agent, now let us try to answer this question. Why is KMnO4, that is potassium permanganate, used during cleaning water tanks? Okay, now what is potassium permanganate doing here in this case is that it oxidizes dissolved iron. So in that water, dissolved iron will be there, manganese will be there, manganese atoms or ions will be there. So what it does, it oxidizes this dissolved iron and manganese from the water and converts them into solid particles. And these solid particles get separated out, and then once they separate, they can be filtered very easily. So this is why it is been used in cleaning the water tanks, so that the water becomes very clean after the use of potassium permanganate. Now let us take one example one of the chemical reaction wherein potassium permanganate is acting like the oxidizing agent. So potassium permanganate in presence of acid or acidified potassium permanganate acts as the powerful oxidizing agent. So here when to this solution ferrous sulfate is added, it forms potassium sulfate, okay, 2 molecules of manganese sulfate, 5 molecules of ferric sulfate, and 1 molecule of 8 molecules of water, and also nascent oxygen is produced. Now which compound is oxidized in this case? Definitely it is the ferrous sulfate which is getting oxidized. Now let us see how the ferrous sulfate is transformed into ferric sulfate. So FeSO4 is called as ferrous sulfate, and Fe2SO4 thrice is called as ferric sulfate. Now here actually when ferrous sulfate forms ferric sulfate, it has got oxidized. Now how this is taking place, let us know the reaction here, this conversion during oxidation reaction. So what is happening here is that 2 ferrous sulfate forms 1 molecule of ferric sulfate. Now what is the ionic reaction which is taking place here? Now what ionic reaction, you should understand that when it loses electron or gains electron, that type of reaction is called as an ionic reaction. So here in the case of FeSO4, if you try to split Fe and SO4, it splits into Fe plus 2 and SO4 2 minus. Which gives Fe2SO4 thrice. So here 2 atoms of Fe3 plus is formed because Fe2 plus has got converted to Fe3 plus in ferric sulfate. So because of the loss of 1 electron, and 3 sulfate ions are formed, that is 3SO4 2 minus. Now what is the net ionic reaction here taking place? The net ionic reaction is that ferrous ion, that is Fe2 plus, has lost one electron. It loses one electron from its outermost orbit, and it forms the ferric ion, that is Fe3 plus. By losing one electron, it gains one positive charge extra here. So since one positive charge is extra, Fe2 plus becomes Fe3 plus, and so oxidation has taken place here because of the loss of electron. So from another definition of oxidation can be like this, that is we understand from here that a new definition of oxidation, which is nothing but oxidation means also losing one or more electrons. So this is now the third definition of oxidation. First one you have studied, that oxidation is nothing but combining with the oxygen. Second is losing hydrogen, and third one is loss of one or more electrons. So here, since ferrous ion is losing one electron and forms ferric ion, that is Fe3 plus, by losing one electron it is also an oxidation reaction. So remember this, students. So when ferric ion is formed from ferrous ion, the positive charge is increased by 1 unit. So while this happens, the ferrous ion loses one electron, and so we understand from this a new definition of oxidation, which is nothing but oxidation means losing one or more electrons. Okay, now that means what is reduction then? So reduction is nothing but gaining of electrons. So let us now proceed further with the reduction. So before that, one more example I am going to show you here, that when ferrous ferrous undergoes oxidation, it forms ferrous oxide, and again further oxidation it forms ferric oxide. Whereas due to reduction, ferric oxide forms ferrous oxide, and again reduction, it forms ferrous here. Now what is actually happening here? Let me try to explain it to you here. Okay, so here what is happening is, from Fe it forms Fe2 plus by losing 2 electrons. So here it loses 2 electrons, and therefore it becomes Fe2 plus, which is forming the formula like this. According to valence, you might be knowing that Fe is plus 2, oxygen is 2 minus. So the formula will be Fe2O2. By cancelling 2 you will get FeO. Fine. So this is ferrous atom is undergoing oxidation here by losing 2 electrons and forms ferrous 2 plus ion. From ferrous atom, ferrous ion is formed. Fine. Again it undergoes further oxidation now here, that is Fe2 plus is there, right here. Now it again loses one more electron and forms Fe3 plus by loss of one electron, and so it forms now Fe2O3, because now here the valency becomes 3 and oxygen it is already 2. So it is 3 and 2, so oxygen becomes 3 and ferrous becomes 2 here. So this is how the oxidation takes place. Whereas the reduction, how it will take place here? Now it will be taking place like this, that is Fe3 plus will be gaining one electron to form Fe, and so this formula you will get. Whereas from here to here, how it will be? It will be nothing but Fe2 plus 2 electrons gives you Fe. So this is just the opposite. Fine. So this is how oxidation and reduction reaction takes place. So again I can say that over here, when the positive charge on an atom or an ion increases, or when the negative when the negative charge reduces on them, it is also called as oxidation reaction. And secondly, when the positive charge decreases, when the positive charge goes on decreases, and negative charge goes on increasing, then it will be called as a reduction reaction. So I hope so you have understood about this. Now let us proceed little further. Let us see now the reduction, what is meant by reduction, and let us see some of the examples in reduction. So reduction is just the opposite of oxidation. So by definition it will be a chemical reaction in which reactant gains hydrogen. There it was reactant gains oxygen. Here it is gains hydrogen and or loses oxygen to form a product is called as reduction reaction. And just now we have learnt about the loss of electron or gain of electron. So in the case of oxidation it is loss of electron, so it is oxidation. So in the case of reduction it will be just the opposite, that is gaining of electrons. So now let us see some of the examples. So you have already seen this in equation number 6 on page in your textbook. So that is how from vegetable oil vanaspati ghee is formed. So this also I have shown you in the video before. So what is happening here is that when vegetable oil, hydrogen gas is added, okay, it forms the vanaspati ghee. So this process is also called as hydrogenation. So this process of formation of vanaspati ghee from vegetable oil by passing hydrogen gas is also called as hydrogenation. So here hydrogen is getting added to vegetable oil, and so this is a type of reduction reaction. Okay, now let us take some more examples here. When hydrogen gas is passed over a black copper oxide, a reddish colored layer of copper is formed, and water is also formed. So this is also another reduction reaction wherein hydrogen is combining with copper oxide and copper is formed. Okay, so this is another type of reduction reaction. So let us take some more example. Now that is ferric oxide. When ferric oxide, carbon monoxide is used, ferric oxide is getting reduced to ferrous and 3 carbon dioxide are formed. So here in this case what is happening here is oxygen is supplied to the oxygen is removed. According to the second definition, oxygen is removed from here. Here also oxygen is removed, hydrogen is getting added. Here also oxygen is removed and Fe2O3 gets reduced to Fe. Fine. So this is also another type of reduction reaction. Another example, that is by gaining of electron. So when chlorine gas during electrolysis, chlorine gas it accepts electron, it forms chlorine atom. Okay, chlorine molecules, 2 electrons are added, it forms 2 atoms of chlorine. Another example is by gaining electrons is copper, Cu2 plus 2E minus gives you copper. So these are some of the examples which are not given in your textbook. So you can also refer from my video about the different reduction reactions. Fine. Now let us see over here in this case carbon monoxide here. Carbon monoxide is used as the reducing agent here, which reduces ferric oxide to ferrous. Fine. So remember dear students, this is how iron is separated from metal ore, that is ferrous oxide is used here to make available ferrous. Fine. So this is how iron is separated from iron ore. Okay. So now let us see now. Carbon monoxide, I told you it is called as a reducing agent here. So this reducing agent is nothing but the substance that brings about reduction is called as a reductant or a reducing agent. Like oxidizing agent, we also have reducing agent. So here carbon monoxide is acting like the reducing agent. So now let us take this example again, that is copper oxide. When to this black copper oxide hydrogen gas is passed, we are getting a red colored layer of copper. So copper also, remember, it is reddish in color. So what is actually happening here? Let me try to answer this question. Which is the reductant and in this reaction, and which reactant has undergone reduction. Now here if you see, hydrogen is used as the reductant because hydrogen gets combined, copper gets reduced. So what is getting reduced here? Copper oxide is getting reduced to copper. How and what type of reaction is this? So copper oxide undergoes reduction. Okay, so copper oxide undergoes a reduction to form copper, whereas hydrogen is getting oxidized. If you see over here, hydrogen is getting oxidized to water. So if you see over here, simultaneously both oxidation and reduction reaction has taken place. So such reactions are also called as redox reaction. Redox reaction means nothing but the reaction in which simultaneously oxidation and reduction reactions are taking place. And most of the reactions of oxidation reduction reactions are redox reaction. So in this reaction, if you see, oxygen atom goes away from the copper oxide, which means that copper oxide is undergoing reduction, whereas the hydrogen molecule takes up oxygen from here and it gets oxidized to water. So oxidation has taken place for hydrogen. So the reductant is this is called as a reductant, is oxidized by an oxidant, and an oxidant is reduced by a reductant. Fine. So these type of reactions are called as redox reactions. So redox reactions are nothing but reduction plus oxidation. Fine. So now let us take some more examples and try to answer the question, that is use your brain power. In this case, fine, in this case, that is hydrogen sulfide gas, when sulfur dioxide gas is added to hydrogen sulfide, it forms 3 atoms of sulfur and 2 molecules of water. Now who is undergoing reduction and who is undergoing oxidation here in this case, if you see. So if you see here sulfur dioxide loses oxygen to form sulfur. That means this is undergoing reduction. This is undergoing reduction. Whereas hydrogen sulfide gains oxygen to form water. So this is getting oxidized. So this is an oxidation reaction. So here this is another example of redox reaction. Let us now take another example. In this case, let us see who is getting oxidized and who is getting reduced here. So if you see over here, MnO2 gets reduced to MnCl2. So it is undergoing reduction here. Manganese dioxide is getting reduced to MnCl2, whereas hydrochloric acid is forming chlorine here. So here in this case, what is happening is nothing but this is getting oxidized. Sorry, here's hydrochloric acid forms water, okay, by gaining oxygen. So this is oxidation reaction. So you might have now understood about what is oxidation, what is reduction, what is oxidation and reduction reaction, that is redox reactions. Fine. So now let us try to answer some few examples here, few questions, like think about it. If oxidation means losing electron, what is meant by reduction? So it is nothing but gaining of electrons. Right. Then next, write the reaction of formation of Fe2 plus by reduction Fe3 plus by making use of the symbol E minus. That is Fe2 plus gets reduced. That means it gains one electron to form Fe3 plus. So this is how ferrous is getting reduced to ferric by gaining one electron. Now let us try to answer another question here. Think about it. The luster of the surface of the aluminium utensils in the house is lost after a few days. Why does this happen? So here what is happening, you might have seen your aluminium vessels in the house. When you buy new ones, they are very shiny and all. Fine. Now what happens to these later on? Aluminium vessels, what happens to them later on? So here the surface of the aluminium vessel reacts with oxygen and also with water to form a thin layer of aluminum oxide, that is Al2O3. Due to this, the shine of the aluminum vessel decreases. So this is also called as oxidation. So remember, new aluminum combines with oxygen and water to form aluminum oxide, that is Al2O3, and so since it combines with oxygen, it is also a type of oxidation reaction, and so the shine of the aluminum is lost. So I hope so you have understood this oxidation and reduction reaction. So if you have any doubt, please go back and listen to the video and watch it. Thank you, dear students.